This saying is absolutely true. It is much easier to make money when you already have money. And I know in the economy right now, a lot of people just feel simply stuck where they are. They're living in this cycle of debt that just seems never ending and just keeps increasing. So if you're tired of living the life that you're living and you want to escape this life of living in debt or living paycheck to paycheck, then this video is for you. I'm going to tell you the 10 things that you need to be doing right now, and these are the things that I did in order to escape poverty and have enough money to start a business. And all 10 of these things are of equal importance, and I can guarantee you that if you start doing all 10 of these, you will find yourself living a brand new life and one that does not involve debt and living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're tired of feeling stuck and you're ready for this new life, then keep watching all the way until the end because this video has the potential to change your life. But first, if you're new here, I'm Cassandra, and on this channel, I come each and every single week talking to you about how you can make more money, how you can sell on Amazon, all of those fun things, and this is my passion. We do this on this channel completely for free for you guys because we love to help others. In return, if you can do us one quick favor, and that is to subscribe to our channel and like this video. It really helps us out so that our videos are pushed out to even more people. All right, here we go. So a lot of people reach out to me about wanting to start an Amazon business, but not having the money to do so. Because like most businesses, you have to invest some money into it before you get money out of it. So you might be choosing to watch this video because maybe you want to start a business like an Amazon business, or maybe you're just tired of living that cycle that you're living. And times are tough, so realistically, what can you do? Number one, the first thing that you can do if times are hard and money is tight is live with your parents or live with a roommate. Now, I know for a lot of people that's not ideal. Most people like to live on their own, they like to have their space. But if you don't have the savings that allows you to live on your own, then don't live on your own. Turning your life around is going to take some sacrifices. But keep in mind, these are short-term sacrifices for long-term rewards. Living with a roommate is going to cut your bills in half. And if you're fortunate enough to have parents that you can live with, maybe they won't even charge you at all. Then you're going to be able to build up a savings so much faster. Let me give you a little story here and an example. I'm the oldest in my family, but the next two kids in line are my sisters. They are 22 and 21 years old. The 22-year-old is adamant that she wants to be on her own, she does not want to live at home, and she moved out as soon as she could. She lives paycheck to paycheck, most weeks having to borrow money from family in order to just get by, because she does not have the finances to be able to live on her own, but she's still trying to do that, and she's never going to get ahead. On the other hand, my 21-year-old sister is a registered nurse, and she lives with my mom. So she is able to save so much money because she doesn't have to pay any bills at my mom's house. And her plan is to stay living with my mom for the next 3 to 4 years, and then she's going to have a huge chunk of money to go towards a house. Short-term sacrifices for long-term rewards. The second thing that we're going to do here to change our life, to get out of debt, is to pay off our debt. Debt truly is a cycle. This is something where if you have a credit card here, a credit card there, you're going to keep doing this. Once those credit cards are maxed out, you're getting more and more buried and you're just trying to apply for more and more credit. It's a bad place to be in, and one that is very overwhelming and makes you feel stuck. So by paying off your debt, it's going to increase your credit score, which right there is going to give you so much more buying opportunity. And debt adds a lot of stress to our lives. So the faster we can pay it off, the better and happier we're going to be. So how do we pay off debt when we feel like we're stuck? There's actually two different methods of doing this that I find to be really successful. We have the snowball and we have the avalanche. For me personally, I did the snowball method, but the avalanche one is just as successful. So what you're going to do here is you are going to list all of your debts that you have in order from the least to the greatest. If you're doing the snowball approach, then you are doing it based on how much debt it is. So for example, if you have one credit card with $100, that would be your top one if that's the lowest amount you owe. And then if you have another credit card with $10,000 at your greatest debt, that would be the bottom one. So go in order of your debts with your smallest debt starting first. The avalanche is very similar, but instead of being the amount owed, you're looking at the interest rate. Some people want to pay off their debts first that have the highest interest rates to get those out of the way. So if that speaks to you, you'd be more interested in doing the avalanche. List your debts in order again, but not by how much is owed, this time by their interest rates. The one with the highest interest rate is going to go first because that's the debt you're going to work the hardest to eliminate first. And then all the way down, your lowest interest rate would be at the bottom. Now, how this method works is you still pay all of your debts. Whatever you owe, you are paying that minimum on all of them. But that top one, whether it be the one that has the highest amount you owe or the highest interest rate, you are going to then put even extra into that one each month. So pay everything that you're owing, but the one that you're trying to get rid of first, put as much extra as you can into it. Then boom, once that one's gone, you're going down to the next. Doing the same thing, paying everything that's left for the month, and that top one, paying as much as you can into it. Again, this might cut you short and make you feel tight for some months, but this is short-term sacrifices for long-term rewards. If you do this and roll those debts down, pretty soon they will be gone. And in order to create this new life of financial freedom, you have to get rid of these debts. So that's why all of these other 9 things that I'm telling you are so important to do, because those are going to be how you have more money to save and get out of these debts. The third thing you're going to do to change your life and have financial freedom in the future is to avoid lifestyle inflations. The idea here is that you are going to live like no one else so that you can live like no one else. So many people that I know live way outside of their means just to try to put on a show for others. Why? Who cares how other people perceive your wealth? So many people are going broke trying to make other people think that they're rich. You don't need that brand new vehicle. You don't need that shiny new boat just because all of your other friends have boats. You don't need name brand clothes. You don't need freshly manicured nails. What you do need is to increase your self-discipline and not let money burn a hole in your pocket. Some people will brag about having a new purse and say, "Oh, I paid $300 for this," like that's a good thing. I literally brag about how little I pay for something. Someone will tell me they like my earrings and I'll say, "Oh, you do? I got them for $1 on clearance at Walmart. Can you believe that?" Or, "Nice dress. Oh, thank you so much. I got it at a garage sale." I like to brag about how little I pay. You need to track your monthly spending habits and see where you're spending money, and you're going to be so surprised at habits you've developed and how much money you're spending on things that you don't even realize just really what it amounts to. If you're spending $5 a day to get an espresso out or an iced coffee, after 1 full year of doing that, that is $1,825 that you have spent on that one activity, getting a coffee daily. Maybe you're the type of person who loves to have freshly manicured nails. That's definitely going to cost you at least $100 a month to keep up on. That one's easy math. After a year, you just spent $1,200 making your nails look pretty. What about your hair? Do you go get your hair done? That easily is another $100 a month. After a year, $1,200. Those 3 things right there are non-essentials. And if you're doing those 3 things, that is $4,225 that you've just spent in a year. Now think about all of the other habits that you have, the things that you buy, the services that you don't have to do. So do it. Create a list, look at your habits, see what you're spending, where you're spending, and add it up for a year's time. You might be looking at it for a day or a month and be like, "Oh, it's not that bad." But when you think about all of these small things and add it up for a year's time, that could be a down payment for a house right there. This leads us nicely into number 4, and that is making a budget and sticking to it. We can go right to Canva and we can get a great spreadsheet so that we can keep track of our finances. What we need to do is look at our debt to income ratio. How much money are we bringing in versus how much are we putting out? And with doing this and itemizing everything, it's going to create a clear picture for you where there are problematic habits in your spending. Places where you can definitely be cutting in order to have more income and less debt. Because this is the common problem here. So many people have this much money coming in and this much money going out. You can never get ahead by doing that, ever. So you're going to make a spreadsheet, put all of your bills on there, everything that you have for the month, literally everything, and show your budget. Have on there how much money you're bringing in and how much money is going out, how much you've set aside to spend on each different thing, and stick to it. Don't spend any more than what you've put in the budget, therefore making sure that by the end of the month, you have money in there to save. If you're just one of those people who la-di-da-di-da, you're spending your money, you're not keeping track of it, I guarantee you, you're building yourself into a hole if you're not already there. Set up your budget. Be intentional about what's coming in and what's going out. The fifth thing you can do to help to create this life of financial freedom is cut every unnecessary bill. I guarantee you, you have subscriptions and memberships that you're paying for that you don't need. Go through your phone subscriptions, go through your Amazon subscriptions, see what's there. I literally do this every single month because things get put on there, and if I don't keep track of it, that's wasted money. For example, my children have phones, and when they're buying stuff, they'll think that it's something that's free. They know they can only buy things that are free. So it'll let them go through, but in reality, it's a free trial to a subscription that's going to start in 3 weeks. And if I don't intentionally go in and look at these things, then I'm being charged for these games that they're not even playing. And you probably have things that you do use, but that you could be doing family plans with. Phone services, Amazon Kindle, music services, Hulu. All of these things you do not have to be paying for on your own. There are family plans that you can do. I remember I was paying every month for my music subscription, and my husband was paying one as well. Then come to find out, we could have been on a family plan that whole time, only been paying it once, and we could have shared that account. Little things like that. Look into it. What are you paying for each month? Number one, can you just get rid of it altogether? Or number two, is there a way that I can attach somebody else to this to help pay for it? My mom, for example, she doesn't have to pay for Hulu. I have the Hulu family account and I just give her the login so she's able to log in. Maybe there's somebody who will do that for you too. Moving on, the sixth thing that you can do, personally, I think is the most important one. If you can really do this to the fullest, it's going to change your life. And that is change the way that you look at money. Change your mindset to one that hates spending money. You can ask anyone in my family, my immediate family, my extended family, every single person knows I hate spending money. My philosophy is if I don't need it, then I don't want it. Rolling back to that story I told you, my sister who lives in debt, who can't even make it through a pay cycle without having to borrow money, she thinks the opposite. To her, money is just something I can make more of next week. That should not be your mindset. You will never live a life of freedom with that mindset. Money should mean so much more to you. It should be more valuable to you because it really is. Every time before you buy something, think to yourself, do I need this or do I want it? And I'm not saying don't ever buy anything just because you might want it. That's okay to do sometimes, and of course, I do that sometimes too. Now, 98% of the month, I don't do that. But there is that 2% in the month where I'll just, I don't really need this, but I want it this time. But make that the exception, not the rule. The rule is, if I don't need it, I don't want it. And you also have to start putting a value on something that you're buying and think to yourself, what did I have to sacrifice to get this? For example, if you make $20 an hour and you want to get yourself a double espresso, extra large, that's going to run you, I don't know, maybe around $10, really think, is this one drink worth that half hour of my life that I had to work for? Because that's the trade-off. Is it really worth that one drink when you think about it in those terms? Now, this one obviously takes some conditioning and some getting used to, and it's not going to happen overnight. But you need to be mindful with it and just start looking at money differently every single day. Eventually, it will just become your lifestyle. If you can grow your mind to hate spending money, it is going to make it so much easier to have a savings and stop living in a cycle of debt. The seventh thing you can do is start putting money into a savings account, not a checking account. This way you don't have access to it. For so many people, I don't know why, money just burns a hole in their pocket. They see it and they're like, oh, I have it, I'm gonna spend it. If you have it in your checking and you can just put in your debit card, that makes it way too easy to spend. Make it a little bit harder on yourself if you don't trust yourself, especially if you're not into this mindset yet where you hate spending money, and if you don't need it, you don't want it. If you're not there yet, trick yourself. Put that money into the savings and don't even look at it. Or if it's even easier and you have somebody to do this, you can even give money to maybe a family member to hold on to and let them know, even if I ask for it, don't give it to me until such and such date. Maybe it's winter time and your goal is to save up to have a down payment by summer. You can let that trusted person know, I'm really working hard to save my money and to get out of this cycle. I'm hoping you can help me out here by holding on to it. And even though it's my money, if I ask for it back, I need you to not give it to me. Short-term sacrifices, long-term rewards. And you heard me say in the beginning, we are going to live like no one else so that we can live like no one else. Everybody else around you is probably going to be doing all of these things that you are cutting out. So you are not living like them. You are living like no one else. So in the future, when these people are still living this cycle of debt and living above their means and never getting ahead, you're not living like them anymore. Live like no one else so that you can live like no one else. Number 8, this is one that saves me personally a lot of money each month, and that is meal planning and buying in bulk. I have 3 children, one of them being a teenage boy, the other 2 being younger school-age children who think they need a snack all day. And let me tell you, groceries right now are crazy expensive. So instead, I go to BJ's Wholesale Club because I can buy things in bulk, which actually per unit turns out being cheaper than buying smaller boxes at Walmart. I'll spend a huge chunk of my day doing a huge list of snacks and dinners. I like to make up a list that just has everything that I can think of for a meal. Then when I'm doing this big grocery order, I look at my list and choose some of them. I like to have enough to go out 3 to 4 weeks. So then my children know, yeah, there's a lot of snacks right now in the house, but if you zip through them, we are not getting groceries again for 4 more weeks. I was spending about $400 per week not doing this, just trying to get snacks on a weekly basis, make meals on a weekly basis, and it was costing so much money. Now it's a non-negotiable. This is what we have, make it last, ration it if you will. I'm not going shopping again for another month. And not only does this save a ton of money, it also alleviates a lot of stress for me and saves me time. Because when I'm at work thinking about what am I gonna cook for dinner tonight? What do I have at home? Or as soon as I get home, oh, what can I take out? What do I have here to make? I have a huge list for the month. Everything I have here at the house to make is right there on the list. I'll look through it, whichever one sounds good. All right, that's what we're making tonight. And make sure that you make enough for leftovers, especially so that you can take to work the next day, or your husband can take the next day, or your wife, if you're the cook and your wife needs to take it the next day. Make it so that you don't have to eat out. And I know some people are saying, well, with groceries being as expensive as they are, it costs less to eat out. No, it does not. It definitely does not. There is nowhere I can go, McDonald's, Burger King, not even fast food, where I can get a meal for my entire family that doesn't cost at least $50. And when I cook meals at home, the most expensive meal that I cook is maybe $10 that feeds all of us. That might be a little low. It might go up to $15, but you get the gist here. There's not any meal that I make for my family that costs me $50 to make. So it definitely is still cheaper to make food at home. Have your huge list for the month and be cooking at home, be making leftovers, and stop eating out. When you do your budget and you look through your statements and you're seeing where you're spending money, I guarantee you eating out is going to be a huge bulk of money that if you can stop doing that and put that into your savings, you're going to see that savings grow. Just from that one thing. The 9th thing that you're going to do is to stop paying for services that you can do yourself. For example, I would love to go to the salon and get my hair done, but when I get my hair done, that costs at least $100 and then at least $20 tip on top of that. That's a lot of money. I would love to go get my nails done. I think it's pretty when girls have their nails done, but it's a waste of money. Instead, I buy boxed hair highlights from Walmart and do it myself. I also bought a gel manicure kit from Amazon that was $40 and will last me probably 2 years, and I paint my own nails. Does it look as good as when you go to a salon? No. but it's still done and I still like it and it still makes me feel good and I'm saving so much money, and that's what's most important to me. Literally any service that in my old life of poverty I used to pay for, I've found a way to not pay for it. I bought a little $20 wax thing on Amazon. I wax my own eyebrows now. I watch YouTube videos to learn how to cut my kids' hair. And speaking of YouTube videos, another service is paying handymen. There are things that you can do around your house that you don't need to pay other people to do. You can figure out how to do it on your own. I can't think of anything that you can't learn on YouTube. I had a leak under my sink. My husband YouTubed it. He fixed it. My washer was not spinning out. It was keeping the water in it. My husband looked it up on YouTube. He fixed it. So any service that you are paying other people to do, try and figure out how to do it on your own. It will definitely save you a ton of money. So those are 9 things right there that you're going to start doing them. Maybe if you don't feel comfortable doing them all at once, you can start one at a time. Ease your way into them. But those are the ways right there that you're going to change your life. You're going to stop living paycheck to paycheck and be able to get out of debt. And if you want to start a business, to have the money to do so. Those are literally 9 things that I myself did and or still do. And now number 10 is how you can have even more income coming in. And that is using the skills that you have to increase your flows of income. Now I know you probably already have a 9-to-5 full-time job and you're thinking, how can I possibly do anything else? Well, there are so many ways to make money. For me personally, back in the day when I was really trying to conquer this list, before I was financially free, I was using my skills of tutoring to make more money. I was a traveling tutor. I would go to people's houses, I would charge them an hourly fee, and that's something I know how to do. I know how to teach reading, and I was using that skill that I know to make more money on the side. I also did a MLM, a multi-level marketing thing, where I was selling a product. So I was on a team, and we were selling products, doing parties, recruiting people. So happy I don't have to ever do that again. Not one of my favorite things that I did in life, but it did give me more money. One month I had $1,200 in extra money just from having these online parties. And I even won a free trip for me and my husband to go to Punta Cana. So it was cool doing it, but me personally, now in my life, I am more interested in passive streams of income. Ways that I don't have to trade my time for money. I don't have to go to people's houses and do spa shows anymore. Thank goodness. Now I put my time and work into doing something for maybe 10 hours. And once that piece of work is done, it's published somewhere and it's making me money on repeat. So that's what a passive stream of income is. And I also have a video of different ways, all these different income streams and ideas that I'll link above for you if you're interested in exactly how you can start making more money. But there you have it. If you're tired of the life that you're living, if you're trying to live a brand new life that does not include debt or living paycheck to paycheck, those are the 10 things that you need to be doing, and it is going to change your life. I guarantee you. If you've been watching this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Leave me a comment down below. I want to know which of the 10 are you most excited to start doing right now, or maybe which one surprised you the most, but you're most excited to see how much money it's going to save you. If you didn't already, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I hope this brought you a lot of value and that it was super helpful for you. And as always, I will catch you in the next video.